Hi YouTube, this is Fee. I hope you all had a wonderful July 4th weekend for those of you who lives in the US. But anyways, I have a little bit of sad news that I would like to share with you of my orchids. So as you can see here, these two orchids are not doing so well. So they are kind of my rescue mission right now. And I'm also going to take this opportunity to kind of test out two rescuing methods. So this one I have been, well anyways, so as you can see, one of them I potted in a hydroton media, which I recently learned from another YouTuber, Samantha. Thank you for showing me how to do this. And this method I have been using for years to rescue sick orchids. It's been pretty successful. So I'm just kind of comparing the two methods, see which one is better, or if not which one's better, like how each orchid might fare, you know, in each methods, and perhaps we'll be able to see if one is more effective than the other. Well, anyways, so over the weekend, not the weekend, over the week, I've noticed that this orchid, the bottom two leaves were, they're kind of like, you know, becoming limp. As you can see here, not much. It's not stiff at all as compared to the other ones on top. They kind of drape over the pot, the old pot, and upon closer examination, they kind of look leathery. And plus, the bloom, I'm not sure if I did a video on this orchid, but anyways, I received this orchid as a gift, like maybe a month or a couple weeks ago. So I also noticed that the buds were blasting. So two of the buds fell off. As you can see, the tip here is beginning to turn to dry up and turn yellow. So so after I noticed that the bottom two leaves were becoming limp, and because I also potted the orchid in like a clear pot, like just like this one, I was able to see through the pot that mold were growing inside the media. So I was really alarmed of my discovery. So I took the orchid out of the old media, and I noticed that a lot of the roots rotted. They were blocking. So I cut them off, cut off all the bad roots. I also cut off the spike. The reason why I do this is I know that in order for an orchid to maintain its bloom and to keep up the bloom and everything, it's exerting a lot of energy to do that. So because this orchid is kind of sick, it's not doing so well, and the roots are not really healthy, I'm thinking, I was thinking that, I'm gonna just bite the nails and cut off the blooms, and so the orchid can conserve all of its energy to to getting itself back to health, like putting more energy in root growth and leaf growth instead of putting energy to the bloom. So the spike I cut off, and I just put it in the vase with water. It's doing good. Hopefully the remaining buds will open for me. But anyways, so I tried this orchid with the new method that I learned from Samantha. It's to put it in hydroton clay pellets. I had somewhat of experience with clay pellets before, and it was not very successful, but I think I was doing it wrong because I was keeping water in the container. And I didn't really wash the clay pellets really well. I just kind of dump it in there and the clay pellets themselves are really dirty and dusty, and I did not wash them before. But this time I washed them really well. I rinsed it with water like 4 or 5 times until the water's clear. Then I potted the orchid in these clay pallets. And according to Samantha's method, I potted this and I soaked the orchid in root growing hormone because the roots are not looking so well. So I kind of want to, kind of speed it along for like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, and I just pour all the water out. So this is actually a vase. I mean, there's a lot of air hole because the clay pallets, they have ununiform shape, so they do not stack together well. So there's lots and lots of air hole in here for air circulation. So on to the next one. This again is another orchid that I actually did a video on this orchid. So this is the one. This orchid I got from Costco. I did a video on it a month or 2 back. The blooms are still very beautiful. They all opened. It's very prolific. It's very stunning. Look. So again, I put it in water so that I can continue to enjoy the bloom. But I don't want the plant to exert more energy on the bloom when it really needs the energy to put to the roots, because the roots are not doing so well. Again, I noticed mold were growing in the media. I don't know why it's doing that. This is the first time I discovered mold were growing in the media. Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, I need to investigate that more. But anyways, this is what I do. This is my method. So I soak the root system in a bucket of diluted root growing hormone for like half an hour, and then I just rest the orchid on top of a bed of damp sphagnum moss. So this way, when the sphagnum moss dry, the water evaporates and give lots of humidity to the orchid roots. And for the roots themselves, because the roots are not potted in anything, it's kind of just out and open. I do not. So they are not enclosed in. So they're kind of airy, like has a lot of air circulation. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, so yeah, so this is the method that I use to rescue a lot of my orchids, and it's been pretty successful. So this time I'm comparing 2 methods to see which one I like better, and to see if one is better than the other or not. They may be has the same effectiveness, yeah, so for this guy, I'm just gonna water this when I notice that all the clay pallets been dry. I noticed that when the clay pallets are wet, they have a deeper color than when they're dry, so I will only water them when they're dry. And this one, I will dunk it in root growing hormone or fertilizer when all the roots are white. As you can see here, they're still green because the sphagnum moss is giving off lots of humidity. So yeah, I will definitely keep you updated on how these 2 orchids are doing. Hopefully both of them will recover and put out blooms for me next year. Probably not this year because they're both kind of not doing so well. Well, anyways, thank you.